I think it works marvelously. Okay, Sidekick. That's that's the Prince, Eddie Murphy, and then Semi. I think Semi was the name of his loyal sidekick, right? A sidekick is not as skilled as the hero, but has certain skills to offer. Remains completely loyal, as Semi does. The sidekick is always loyal. Does not die unless it's a formal tragedy. Yeah, then like King Lear and the Fool. Yeah. Provides counsel in conflict, yes. Often same sex, but not always. There are some very interesting relationships, sidekick relationships, that are opposite sex relationships. And can echo a hero's romance with a comedic one. Now then, here are some successful sidekicks. Dory in Finding Nemo. Ditzy Dory, the forgetful one. She is a classic sidekick. Rusty Ryan in Ocean's 11, also a classic. It's, again, sometimes casting throws you off because he's a star playing the part, but that still the role and function in the story is that's a sidekick. Ellie Burr in Insomnia. How many of you have seen Insomnia? A few. Okay. Yeah. It's really terrific in many, many ways, and it's got relationships that are worth taking a look at, especially this one between Ellie Burr and her hero. So I would put it on the list. Just don't view it when you're depressed. Okay. Albert, of course, in Hitch. Oda Mae Brown in Ghost. You remember how wonderfully charming that relationship was? She becomes the medium through which the dead guy can speak to his living girlfriend. They weren't married, were they? I don't think so. I think it was a girlfriend. And she's perfect and she's hilarious. And Peter Brand and so forth. Okay. I have picked also here an opposite sex a sidekick. I want you to see how this works too. This is not the obvious, one of the obvious ones. Okay? And this is out of Inception, and it's Ariadne. Remember? Cobb, I'm assuming most of you have seen this picture, yes? Has anybody not seen it? Okay. Okay. Put it on the list. He's putting together a team because he needs to enter a CEO's dreams and fool him into changing his mind about something extremely important. It's rather intellectual, but physically it works. Visually it works very, very well in the movie. It's an extraordinary movie, actually. And she is the architect he has hired and brought in. So she goes back. She's curious about her hero here because he's acting kind of funny, kind of strange. She can tell that there's something going on inside of him that she really thinks she needs to know about. Finds Cobb hooked to the dream machine, and she joins him. She hooks herself up to the same dream. Their upcoming job is dangerous, so she needs to know more about Cobb's troubled dreams. What is he hiding? And then she wakes up in the dream, and finds herself descending in this decrepit, wonderful old elevator, descending into Cobb's dark psyche. And she finds him in a room of a house somewhere, speaking in low tones, low personal tones with a woman. She doesn't yet know that this is Maul and that this is his dead wife. Maul is dead, and the only place she still exists is in Cobb's memory and dreams. But all of a sudden, there's another person in the dream, so Maul and Cobb are startled that they're with somebody, and they see they're not alone. Cobb runs over. He's got to get her out of there as quickly as he can, or get Ariadne out of there. He says, "What are you doing here? This has nothing to do with you." And she retorts like a good sidekick would. "It has everything to do with me. You've asked me to share dreams with you. I need to go, implication, I need to know what the heck is going on in here." Well, I guess I jumped the gun. I need to know what's going on with you. Yes, there are things you should know. He's not always, antagonistic towards his sidekick. That is not the nature of a hero-sidekick relationship. He knows he's got to show her something, let her in on something. So Cobb takes her deeper into his dream world. He is willing to reveal parts of his troubled psyche to his sidekick. He takes her to his home at another time, and he shows her his home, takes her down the hall and into his home, and shows him his two children that he longs more than anything to return to. That's his goal, actually. But the children never quite turn to me. I can never see their faces, he confesses. He's always denied fulfillment of being with them and holding them and having them see him too. And Ariadne says, these aren't dreams, they're memories. And you told me never to use memories. See, she's on this stuff. She's learning. She's putting two and two together. Ariadne slips back into the elevator without Cobb and pushes the basement button. She must find out what haunts Cobb the most. So at the very bottom, in the basement of things that he protects about himself, she finds his darkest memory is about a hotel suite where furniture has been trashed and thrown around like it'd been a big fight or something like that. And then she noticed over on the couch is the same woman that she saw before. This is Moll. This is Cobb's dead wife, remembered in his memories and dreams. Moll hisses, "You don't belong here." The sidekick finds herself trying to understand the nature of the hero's wound. Do you know what it is to be a lover? To be half of a whole? And Ariadne is just kind of overwhelmed by it all. It's just, no. And what she does not see, at least it's shot in a way that she does not see, that Moll leans over basically and picks up a weapon, a broken wine glass. Cobb arrives, pulls Ariadne back into the elevator just in time because Moll attacks her. Moll attacks and screams, "You promised, you promised." And she's talking to Cobb, obviously. He has promised her something. Ariadne now understands that Moll could show up in their dream at any time with the power to kill people. She insists the other members of the team need to be told. Okay, I've had to skip over a whole lot of stuff, but what she is doing, the absorption of information about her hero, how she pushes back on her hero as he tries to cover things up, forcing him to deal with the troubling stuff inside. This is classic sidekick stuff. And there is no hint of anything romantic between the two of them. That would ruin the whole sidekick thing. That's not an issue here. That would change the dynamic, and it just wouldn't work in this case. The sidekick, not as skilled as the hero, that is true here, remains completely loyal. That is absolutely true of her. Does not die. Actually, that is true also. By the end, provides counsel and conflict for the hero. Exactly what she does. Usually same sex, but not always. And can echo a hero's romance with a comedic one of her own. In that case, that is irrelevant. But that is how she fits into that category.